Hey there, I am back with another deck review and I've got a good one today. Today we're going to be looking at the Artisan Playing Cards Gold Edition from Theory11. The Artisan line goes back a long way with Theory11, all the way back to 2013 when they produced these, the white and the black editions of the deck. This was their aim of putting together a kind of luxury but very classic deck. This is one that David Copperfield called the finest deck of playing cards ever produced and has been one of the most successful designs, along with like Monarchs and a couple of others that Theory11 has ever produced. They've sold tens of thousands of these over the years, but on Black Friday in 2019, they decided to really kick it up a notch with the gold edition. Now, these were released in kind of an interesting way. They sell their decks in Target, but for the gold edition, they only put a single deck in each Target. So that kind of created a little bit of a chase with people trying to find the decks. I happened across it today. It's actually a couple of weeks after Black Friday, but I happened across it today while I was out shopping. Had to grab one and show you guys what the deck is all about. So let's take a look at it, find out. All right, starting with the tuck. This is a really beautifully done brown and gold color scheme, very similar to like the Medallions deck, if you've seen that from Theory11. But the brown is not just a true brown, it's kind of this glittery gold mixed in with the brown. So it kind of creates this sheen across the entire deck that is absolutely stunning. You combine that with these embossed rays that are coming around on the deck, and it almost gives the feel that the entire deck is glowing. I think it's just a fantastic effect. The design of the elements on the front is going to be pretty much the same as the previous deck. So like here's the black one side by side. You can see it's the same spade pip, just done in all gold foil. You've got really heavy embossing all the way through, kind of a trademark of Theory11 to have that embossing in gold foil all around their tucks. It says Artisan, the Guild of Artisans, Theory11, the US Playing Card Company, and then you've got the crossed hammers in the center. And that's all in the middle of a large spade pip that's embellished with all these kind of different vines and leaves going all the way around. Really beautiful. It says gold edition at the top and just trademark at the bottom. Really nicely done on the sides. You've got made in the United States of America. Same thing on the other side. You can probably see a little bit more of that sheen on the tuck case color itself. The bottom's got the ad copy for Theory11. And the top just says Artisan. The back's going to be the back design of the cards, all done in embossing and gold foil. Really beautiful look on that one. Just tons of shine, a lot of foil going on. And then you have the custom black and white postage stamp style tuck seal. Says Guild of Artisans Theory11, or the T11 there. And then edition number 2019, because the deck was printed in 2019. As you open it up, you have just a plain brown, but then you've got the AG for Guild of Artisans there in the center, and then the Latin phrase per ardua ad alta, which means through struggle to the stars. Pretty cool message. No printing on the interior of the tuck case, which is unique in its absence for Theory11, but you can see that beautiful color they chose for the stock itself. So that's it. That's the really nicely done tuck case for Theory11. It's always a highlight of any Theory11 deck you pick up, but I think this one really just does have something a little bit extra. But that's not all. Let's take a look at the back of the cards. This is one of the areas where the deck, no pun intended, really shines. It is all done in gold foil. So you got the thin white poker border around, black background, but almost the entire background is covered in this really beautiful gold foil. Tons of little details, very similar back design again to what you've seen on other Artisan decks, but that gold foil really helps it pop a lot more. You got the AG for Guild of Artisans on the casino style back, the T11 for Theory11 in these two circles here. Says the Guild of Artisans on the banner across the top. And then over here you have a couple of Latin phrases. You got the per ardua ad alta, through struggle to the stars again on that side. And on the other side, sin labore nihil, which means nothing without work. So very beautiful back design. Love the gold foil. I will say with this much gold foil, you can probably pick out areas where the foiling is a little bit bleedy, if you will, and doesn't, you know, quite come out as clean as you might like. But all in all, it's a really beautiful look. Kind of reminds me of the Dan and Dave Private Reserve deck, if you've seen that. Very similar with that black with tons of gold foil on the back. So very nice, very luxurious feel to the back of these. Now, the rest of the deck itself, I'm going to go through this really quickly because if you've seen an Artisan's deck before, you're going to get more of the same. So you have the two identical Jokers here. They're the Guild of Artisans US Playing Card Company, and this is the Jolly Joker with the Jester kind of juggling the four suits there in the center, made in the United States of America, and then Joker in the corners. You have two identical Jokers there. Other extra cards, you get the two Theory11 ad cards. Kind of a pet peeve of mine. I don't like when Theory11 does double ad cards, but with the rest of the deck, can't complain too much. There you go, two Theory11 ad cards. And then you get to the rest of the deck, and you're gonna start here with the Ace of Spades, and it's pretty stunning. More gold foil. You get some gold foil on the face of the card as well. Standard pip and index in the corner, but the center spade pip is done all in gold foil. I will say, not the cleanest foiling job. This is where you can probably see the most bleed. You can barely make out the A and G in the center, but pretty cool they did foiling on the face of the cards. The rays that you see coming out of the spade are also done in foiling. This gold edition, you get the edition number 819. This is when the month and year when the deck was printed. So this was in August 2019. Imagine all the gold editions are going to be printed there. But really beautifully done with the gold foil. Interesting to see it not just on the backs, but on the fronts as well. The number cards are all going to be pretty standard now as you go through the deck. This is where it's going to become a relatively standard deck. The core cards are just going to be slightly recolored, done in gold metallic inks, which is nice. You got the red and the black, and then the gold metallic inks on the hair, and then some embellishments on the clothes. But otherwise, a pretty classic bicycle look to the core cards. And then the rest of the deck is going to be more of the same. Red and black, same coloring, gold metallic inks, but a fairly standard deck the rest of the way through. So that's it. That is the look at the gold edition of the Artisan playing cards. It's a really beautifully done deck. I will say the design itself, you know, it's kind of been a timeless design for Theory11 just because it is such a functional deck. It's one that you can use for gameplay, magic, artistry, cardistry rather, anything pretty much. It's just such a beautifully done and elegant deck. And I think with the gold foil, they really just kicked it up a notch, but it still handles really, really well. Despite the gold foiling, maybe a tiny bit clumpier on fans than maybe what you'd usually get, but it still handles really, really nicely. So I can't complain too much with that. Definitely a deck that you're gonna remember. So hope you enjoyed this look at the gold edition of the Theory11 Artisan playing cards. Let me know what other decks you want to see. Subscribe for other unboxings and deck reviews, and I'll see you for the next one.